Hey there, congratulations on making it to the end of the semester. Congratulations on making it to the end of this crazy year. I am Kristi. I'm one of the writing consultants here at the Writing Center, and I'm here talking to you today from my library at home about something that has helped me get through 2020, something that has helped me get through the pandemic, something that has helped me get me through my life, and that is reading. Since January 1st, I have read something like 55 books, I believe, and today I wanted to talk to you about 5 of the best ones that 2020 has to offer. The first of which is The Vanished Birds by Simon Jimenez, a science fiction book that explores a future in which Earth can no longer sustain human life. And while space exploration and travel may have finally been mastered, human greed is still very much a thing. So much so that one corporation will do whatever it takes to find one boy with a very special ability. So I go from talking about our future to talking about our very real present with Dear Justice by Nick Stone, the follow-up to 2017's Dear Martin. In Dear Justice, Justice McAllister and Laquan Banks, they grew up in the same neighborhood, grew up dealing with the same kind of issues, but they have ended up in wildly different places. While Justice is at an Ivy League school, Laquan is in jail for the murder of a police officer, and he can't help but wonder what went wrong. So he begins to write letters to Justice, and the two men discuss the seemingly inescapable fate of many Black men in this country. Probably some of my favorite moments from this book is when Laquan is talking about his childhood playground. And as the reader, you can see how this playground deteriorates over time due to crime and neglect. It's pretty heartbreaking, but it's also really well done. Now, I am always one to maintain that graphic novels are terribly underrated and underappreciated. That is why I have decided to highlight Almost American Girl by Robin Ha. In this book, in this illustrated memoir, Ha talks about a trip she took to Alabama with her mother from their home in Seoul, South Korea. Only after she gets there, she is told they are never going back. Fear, anger, resentment, culture shock, it's all in there, and it's beautifully illustrated glory. And now I move back to the young adult novel, but not one that's written in traditional prose. Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo is written completely in poetry. And if you recognize the author's name, it is probably from her National Book Award winning The Poet X, also written all in poetry. In Clap When You Land, sisters Camino and Yahaira must deal with the tragic loss of their father after a horrible plane crash. And then they have to deal with the fact that the other exists. The two are sisters and they had no idea. Turns out their father had 2 wives, 2 families in 2 different locations, one in New York City and one in the Dominican Republic. And if that family dynamic isn't crazy enough for you, then I recommend Hollywood Park by Mikel Gillette. In this book, Gillette talks about how he was rescued from a cult at a very young age. But as it turns out, life with his mother isn't much better. Trauma, emotional abuse, drugs, alcohol, it is all in here. And what makes this book so compelling is Gillette's lyrical and haunting voice, something he has been able to use to great effect as the frontman for his band, the Airborne Toxic Event. Probably my favorite moment from this book is when Gillette is learning how to fight from his father so that he can better defend himself against the bully in high school. So there you have it. Those are 5 of my favorite books from 2020. However, I decided not to leave it there. I also thought I should discuss 2 books that speak very much to our current situation. The first of which is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. In this book, a terrible flu has ravaged the globe, almost eliminating all human life. Years later, as the survivors struggle to rebuild, some of the societies choose to operate out of hope and progress, while others choose to operate out of fear, control, and violence. And last, I have 2016's A Gentleman in Moscow. Now, like most of you, like a lot of you, for the past 8 to 9 months, I have been working from home, trying to avoid human contact as much as possible. And as an introvert, I'm pretty okay with it. Would I be okay with it for the next 30 years? That I don't know. But that is what happens to Count Alexander Rostov as he is deemed an unrepentant aristocrat during the Russian Revolution. Placed under house arrest in the Metropole Hotel, a beautiful, grand hotel, he is told he will be shot should he take one step outside of it. So he stays inside. He stays inside this hotel for 30 years, over 30 years. At least I am allowed to leave my house. So there you have it. As a special bonus, I have decided to give away this set of the Hunger Games books, the latest edition to which was published earlier this year. So thank you. Be good. I love and adore you all, and I'll see you again soon.